Hey, today marks the 1-year anniversary of Mangakaige. 1 whole year of reviewing Shonen Jump in its entirety and discussing other manga-related topics along the way. It's been an amazing ride, and I'm thankful for each and every one of you who decided to check out my channel and stick around for the things I put out into the world. Very proud of what I do. I have a lot of fun with this. But today, to celebrate this milestone, I will, of course, be subjecting myself to abstract torture, as you do. So this is another compilation video, as I've been doing. These are compilations of entire series reviews from across the weeks of Shonen Jump that I've covered, just compiling all the reviews of a single series into one video. But the series we're discussing today, Nice Prison, is a rather notorious one on this channel. It is the namesake of my channel members. They are my nice prisoners. That's because this is like the earliest punching bag on the channel, because it predates even Ekiden Bros, because even though Ekiden Bros' debut issue was the first issue I ever covered, Nice Prison had already had 10 chapters out by the time I got around to making YouTube videos. And I already hated it. So I came in, chapter 10, the first chapter of Nice Prison I covered, already shitting on it, and that persisted until its demise on chapter 19. So those chapters, of course, all those reviews will be compiled here, the same way they were presented in their original videos. However, to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of this channel, I will be rereading the first 9 chapters and reviewing them on this channel for the first time right here and now. This sure will be something. To give a little layer of added context to anybody who might be joining us for the first time today, this is probably the worst manga I have ever read, period. So to put myself through this painstaking task of rereading 9 chapters of it is truly an insane feat that I have yet to do. As of recording this, I'm about to do it right now in front of this camera. And I'm sure I will come out of these 9 chapters with my entire life's perspective changed and refocused as a result of experiencing these chapters again. So join me as I talk about these first 9 chapters on the channel for the first time. Let's do it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 1, The True Culprit Was My Father. My God, this feels wrong to be talking about this in 2026, but here I am. Yeah, so the debut chapter, I remember reading this like it was yesterday, to be completely honest. I don't even mean that as a joke. I really do remember reading this and just being completely overwhelmed with how not funny at all it was. It's a series that completely and solely relies on like random LOL XD humor of like the late 2000s. It's just a bunch of nonsense happening. It's a prison that's like completely out of control. The guards are trying to have any semblance of normalcy in this prison, but it's just not happening. That is kind of a funny concept, to just have a prison where like nobody's exactly doing anything like bad or harmful per se. It's just a bunch of insane lunatics just doing whatever they want because the guards have no control over them. On paper, that is actually kind of funny, but the execution is horrendous. It's terrible. Nothing is funny. No joke ever lands in this entire run, and that is accentuated by chapter 1. This is supposed to be our first introduction to the series, and all we have is a bunch of nonsense. Get our introduction of our 2 main characters, Horo Mitsuboshi and Tara Adachi, both of which they suck. Tara is kind of just like a reactionary character. She exists solely to react to whatever dumb shit Horo's doing. And any bits he does in this first chapter are all around his stupid ball and chain. It sucks. It's so lame. He uses a Pokeball. And it sucks because it's literally called out on that same page where he uses a Pokeball. It's Tara who must be thinking or saying, I don't know, what is this, Pokemon? Shut the fuck up. Honest to God, shut up. Oh my God. You don't call attention to jokes. Just do them. You don't gotta call it out like that. She ruins any potential for this series to land a joke, because that's her entire purpose. She exists to be like, what is this, a Family Guy episode? Dude, oh my God, stop talking. It drives me nuts. I hate manga characters like this. They're in so many gag manga, and it's absurd. Why would you ruin your own joke like that? I guess it's just some kind of aspect of Japanese humor. Or it's just bad writing, which I think is more likely the case. This first chapter pissed me off all over again. I hate it so badly. It's nonsense, it's awful. Everything sucks. Let's go into chapter 2.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, chapter 2. Only stepped out to pass along the memo. Oh, another dog shit one. Shocker. Again, this just solely relies on nonsense. It's just about him doing stupid shit with his ball and chain, and then doing nonsense with some unruly prisoners, which is kind of like the focus of this chapter. We're getting more into the groove of what this series is going to be like. He's the model nice prisoner. I didn't even talk about that in chapter 1. Why? Because who cares? It doesn't matter. He's trying to be the good one. You know, he's trying to wrangle everyone together, even though he's not a security guard. He's a prisoner. Haha, wow, yeah, ha, funny. I did not talk enough in my original reviews about how awful Tara is. This has to be low-key, maybe even a worse character than Horo. Horo's annoying and stupid and not funny, but Tara actively is sabotaging the series, and it's already a dogshit series to begin with. Look at every instance she's used. I'm not actually going to show every instance on screen, but this one instance. I will talk about her more, I'm sure, in the coming chapters, but this one instance in this chapter just really brought it all home already on chapter 2. Now, mind you, obviously this is reflective. I have read the whole series. This isn't my actual sequential thoughts. So there's this porta potty bit. This guy is using it as a palanquin, which I guess is what that's called. I didn't know that. Hey, I learned something. Nice prison taught me something. It's the thing, you know, 4 people carry it over their shoulders and the guy sits on it. It's like what old kings used to have or whatever. And she literally just says, that looks more like a porta potty to me. Yeah, I have eyes. I do have eyes. They work. You don't need to tell me everything that happens in this manga. I see it. It just sucks. It's just so damn annoying. How can you find this series funny when every joke is just being told to you? There's no show don't tell in this manga. It's all tell and also show, but showing it hardly even matters. This might as well be a light novel. Just explain what's happening in detail at this point. Anyway, this chapter also debuts the iconic 4-panel theater pages of the series, and just as funny as all the future ones will be. Just hilarious stuff here. Marvelous writing, genius comedic timing, and brilliance. So good, man. You guys are missing out if you're not reading this. Get on it now. Come on. This is what you're missing out on. You gotta see this to believe it. It's just so good.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 3. Are these guys going to be regulars after this? Yeah, I suppose this is kind of the one that gets like the plot set in motion. We already knew before this that he's trying to go get the big bad, the super death row prisoner, who I'm pretty sure ends up being his dad. And it gets this side quest in motion to save some people who might be willing to help them with their task. And, you know, this is just more of the same. It's just gags happening while Tara calls attention to them and makes them not even remotely funny, and they aren't funny to begin with. Like, there's this bit at the beginning where he's served coffee, and it's like, oh, look, it's finally circulating through your body after all this time. She's like, oh, fuck, it's poison, oh my god. And then it's like, oh no, I gotta pee, oh no. And then the whole thing's like, oh no, I can't pee here because I'm a model prisoner. I can't leave the prison. And she just calls attention to all the nonsense, like, oh, but you've been breaking down walls and shit. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Then he goes to the bathroom, he's covered in toilet paper, and he's like, and she's like, oh, you took a dump too? It's everything. It calls attention to every single thing that's supposed to be funny, and it ruins it. I can't exaggerate this enough. At some point, I'm gonna have to stop talking about it. I still have chapters 4 through 9 to talk about, so I should probably just shut the hell up about Tara at this point, because that's the only talking point I'm finding. But that's also truly the only thing to talk about. That we are also at the point now where chapters are 15 pages. That's very normal for gag manga, but these things really fly by, which is good, thank God for me. But it's just not funny, man. There's nothing here. It's just an empty gag manga, dude. This is just abysmal. I just can't imagine writing something so unfunny and then adding another character into the mix that's sole purpose is to make everything even less funny. Anyway, let's go ahead and start saving some people. I think I remember maybe 2 of these people. I don't even know if we're gonna see all of these. They're different wardens, by the way. Let's see. I can't wait to find out.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 4. Kesataro is a ball and chain. Okay, to be honest, I know I just spent the past 3 chapters shitting on it. This one actually wasn't the worst thing ever. Like, it's still not good, but it did have 2 jokes that were mildly funny. Okay. See, this is me, guys. I'll give a series credit if it does something right, no matter how much I hate it. Look at Nue. I give that credit sometimes. So bit one that actually made me like grin a little bit. I got a little something out of me. The ball and chain, the ever beloved ball and chain character, who up until this point was not a character. It was just a ball and chain. Just kind of starts talking like all out of the blue. Like they just walk into this place where they gotta save this little flower mascot, and he just starts speaking like with no warning. And you know, Tara's reaction to it is about what you'd expect, but it's toned down a little bit. Like she doesn't freak out. She's like, oh, so what? We got a talking ball and chain now? No, she's pretty low key about it. So it kind of makes the joke land, actually. See, Tara's the problem. She's not the only problem, believe me. It's just bad writing all around. But Tara does ruin any joke that may land. But here, she reeled it back and it actually kind of worked. So, hey, good job, man. You did it once. And then at the end, this is after a whole chapter of like meeting these mascot characters. The whole theme of this part of the prison is illegal mascot characters or whatever. There's a mascot that is based on the white part of a nail, like a fingernail. That's a little funny. You know, honestly, it really isn't. Like saying it out loud and trying to pass it off as being funny makes it not funny at all. But it got me in the moment. Maybe I was just so desperate to laugh at anything here. So I guess it wasn't a terrible chapter. It didn't really do anything like super not funny. It wasn't funny either. It had two moments that got a little smile out of me. So hey, best chapter in the series? Chapter of the week? I wonder, what odds that this would have gotten chapter of the week for this issue? I think 0, but it's the only chapter from this issue I've ever talked about on the channel. So I guess by default, it gets chapter of the week for issue number whatever this was of 2025. Good job, Nice Prison.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 5, Misanga Bracelet. So here we have a new brand of bad for Nice Prison, the boring kind. Now previously the chapters were bad because it was just an onslaught of really unfunny jokes. This chapter is just boring. It is trying to tell jokes, but they are so not funny that they don't even like read as jokes. For example, referential humor. This is something that Roboco does all the time, and I honestly give it praise for it often. You can do referential humor well. It's very difficult, and Roboco does not always land it, but it's possible. And I don't even know if that's a real term, referential humor, that's just what I say, I don't know. You're referencing other shit while trying to make a joke. It's just a joke that solely relies on referencing a thing that you know. That's Roboco in a nutshell. And this series also tries to get away with it, but it does not work as well. So we deal with this mascot character who calls himself Day Senior, just an old man, sure. And one thing leads to another, and a bunch of mascots, including the grandpa, are beating Horo up. And Day Senior says, I've been in Smash Bros before, you know. And you're probably scratching your head. I mean, you can probably see the punchline right there, but you're like, what does that mean? What is this joke? Is this just like, in this universe, this character is so popular and well known that he's in Smash Brothers? No. Tara has to point it out for us. That's Daisy, not Day Senior. That's a joke? And now listen, I know there are things that get lost in translation when translating a Japanese comedy to English, but I still cannot imagine that that was a good joke in Japanese. There's literally no way. Nothing you could possibly say could convince me otherwise. And then yeah, everything after that and before that is just boring. It's just exposition and nonsense. We're trying to save this flower one, which is a character I remembered. So far, my assessment of remembering 2 of those people that they have to save remains true, because I remembered this one and I remember the girl that was in the same image. Any other ones, I don't know. I already forgot what they all look like too, so that doesn't really help. All right, that's that. Awesome.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 6, Deathmatch. Yeah, it's in its boring era. This is just not an interesting arc, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. It had a decent first chapter, but from there, it's just like action, which isn't something I really want out of this series, nor do I want anything out of this series for the record, but I didn't really come here to see him fight. And yeah, I get it, funny that he puts his hand up the ball and chain's ass to fight, like abused mode or whatever, and it was a rectal exam. Ha ha ha, wow, funny. And then again, you know, like that's honestly like an okay joke, but then Tara just has to come in and ruin it again by just calling attention to the whole thing. You know how it goes at this point. Anyway, it ends with like him opening the gates of hell, domain expansion type shit. Hilarious. Not Horo, by the way, I mean the fingernail guy. Sorry, I haven't really mentioned him since the couple chapters ago. He's still around though. Yep, he's our villain, our arc antagonist. Very memorable. I'm sure he will be up there with the greatest antagonists of our generation.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 7, Unexpected Identity. Ed has joined me for this huge reveal. Never mind, he doesn't give a shit. That's right, the super death row prisoner, whatever, is his dad. I already knew that and said it earlier. Oh my god, what? Yeah, so there's our main villain. Start to get plot rolling, I suppose. There's no way he got the axe notice here. That's just too early, but it does feel like he had an idea that he was probably not gonna make it after this chapter. So we get the introduction of his dad and then his 4 like henchmen or whatever. And there's actually a mildly funny joke here where it's all like people who, 3 people who are definitely supposed to be there, and then just woman who was at the bakery. That's a little funny. I don't remember what happens to this lady, if she sticks around or anything. I'm curious. I won't be reading past chapter 9, so I probably won't actually get to see, but I'll let myself from the past talk about that when we get to it, even though I definitely did not talk about it. There's no way I did. Just a bunch of typical designs. They're not terrible, to be honest. Like the henchmen here, they're fine enough designs. I can't say they're bad. They're just whatever. And then just kind of boring exposition and stuff as we get into, like, I guess the most serious chapter yet. It's still a joke, but it is still trying to tell like a semi-serious story here, sort of, about his dad. Yeah, it sure doesn't work. Just your typical villain introduction chapter, and then he fucks off and chapter ends. Cool. See what happens next. I can't wait.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 8, To Ogi Kubo. This is the most nonsense chapter yet. I can't even really wrap my head around what this is about exactly. I read it. I guess I get it. It's about Horo being brainwashed and turning into a monkey, like, construction worker guy. It's incredibly bizarre and specific. I couldn't even find any, like, obviously the series isn't funny, but I couldn't even like grasp the humor to get even like a foundation to find it funny. Like I was free falling this whole chapter. I guess in the end I kind of get it, sort of, but not really. It's just the joke just seems to be that, yeah, he's getting brainwashed and manipulated into thinking he is a monkey who does like construction work in this town. What? Where's the funny? I don't really understand. And then it tries to do like a semi-serious thing with like a flashback to his dad hitting him that brings him back to his senses. I don't know. It's just really, really weird. This is a very strange chapter. That's my only takeaway from it. Yeah, it wasn't funny, of course, and Terra still sucked, as did Horo, but more than all else, this was just a really weird one. I don't understand. I guess it just goes back to that lol XD random humor I was talking about before. I think this is the epitome of it. It is so random, I literally do not understand what this even was. 1 chapter left, guys, thank God. You still have like 12 more or whatever to sit through, but I get to run free after this next one.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 9, Farewell and Reunion. A shockingly fitting title for the last chapter I'm covering before we go back to the past. That's insane. That was a really weird coincidence, actually. Ed's here. He wanted to be here for this one. Had to. So yeah, we are dealing with our brand new antagonist here, his doctor or whatever, who was responsible for the brainwashing of last chapter. I don't know, man. The ball and chain sacrifices himself, Chaozu style, and I honestly don't remember if he stays dead. I guess we'll find out soon. I won't. I don't care anymore after this. And there's a mildly funny joke where it's like after the explosion they're thinking like, oh my god, he's back, because they hear like a voice like being like, don't worry, I'm all right, and then out from the rubble comes just some schmuck that was around. It's like, I'm safe and sound. That was a little funny, honestly. That was maybe the best joke we've seen so far, which is a very low bar, but we take what we can get here. Other than that, though, it's just the classic action shit that this series does, and it is like not even remotely cool or funny or anything. So the large majority of this chapter is just nothing, but then there's like, a death and a kind of funny moment in there. I will say, to be honest, full disclosure, I did actually like chuckle at that moment. So over these 9 chapters that I've just subjected myself to, we got 1 chuckle. Good job, I guess. I gotta give it up. You got me one time. And yeah, we end off with the doctor like losing his mech, and that's it. I don't know what happens after this. Big cliffhanger. You'll find out soon. I assume it'll be the end of this arc. Great stuff. This was awesome. I'm so glad I did this. We will reunite at the end of this after you've seen my other coverage of the chapters, and we will talk about this series as a whole. But until then, going back to the past, and you can see my very first video where I talk about the 10th chapter of this. So it'll probably feel pretty different considering how early on this was in the channel's history. In fact, about a year ago is when this would have been uploaded. So it's definitely going to have a different vibe to it. But I hope you enjoy the rest of this, and I will catch up with you again at the end. So glad this is over. Oh my God. From one banger to the next, we have Nice Prison Chapter 10, The Geezer's Sunny Spot. Oh man, guys, it's just not funny. It's just not working. Nothing in this series works. I see it's getting lower and lower on the TOC every week. Hopefully that means we don't have to deal with this for much longer. Super dark prisoner model, whatever is here, and the dark ball and chain. It's the big reveal. There was like, I didn't laugh, don't get me wrong, but there was like a mildly funny moment where like the scientist guy, whatever he is, like blows up his own lab by accident. Haha. Yeah, I'm ready for this to end. I hope it's on its way out. It certainly could end soon. It has the opportunity. We have the main villain introduced in person here. So there's a way out. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, guys. Maybe we won't have to read this for much longer. Please, God, please.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison Chapter 11, The Two Model Prisoners plus Alpha. Congrats to Nice Prison for getting the biggest laugh out of me this week, but not because it was funny. Because it thinks it's so funny that it now has a 4-panel theater segment at the end of every chapter. I laughed my ass off. I turned the page. I saw it. I saw to be continued, and then there's another page. I was like, what is this? Is this like a mistake? Turn the page. Nope. He thinks he's so funny. He's funny enough to have 2 more comics, essentially, in the magazine. He's putting his little comedy bits in this magazine. He's just sneaking them right in. Nice Prison, 4-panel theater. Not even remotely funny. Like, not even close to being funny. Oh my God. Get this thing out of here. Who does this guy think he is? Are people in Japan finding this guy funny? Is the humor like so Japanese that I just can't find any humor in it? Or maybe the translation doesn't work? Like, is this only it's a linguistic problem? Whatever it is, I need to be educated because this is blowing my mind. This guy thinks he is the funniest man to have ever roamed the earth, I think. He's just high on his own farts, like for real. He thinks he's comedy god. Wow. All right. Nice. Nice.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison Chapter 12. It's not ultra or hyper. Wow. I'm laughing. Oh, God. It's not going to last much longer, guys. This is done. Chapter 18, it's over. I wouldn't even be surprised if this is Chapter 17, it's gone. Chapter 16, get it out of here. What do I care? Next chapter. Let's kick it out. I feel like it's wrapping up, right? Do you guys get that feeling too? Or am I just delusional and hopeful? The only thing I was looking forward to with this chapter was looking at more nonsensical 4-coma comics and making fun of them, but it's gone. Is that just a one-time thing? You just felt like it? This sucked. No surprise. This series is absolutely horrendously awful and is still, to this day, I think maybe the worst manga I've ever read. So, nice job, Nice Prison. You really did a great job this week.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 13, The Fourth. What is this series doing so high on the TOC? What's going on? Yeah, not good. Again, I didn't laugh. Is Super Female Prisoner really the best name that could be come up with for this character? And like, yeah, sure, I get that that's maybe the joke, but still sucks. And as does this entire series. So, yeah. Well, what can you say? The 4 Coma Theater is still absent. I don't know. I guess it was just a one and done. Maybe that was an editorial decision, or maybe he just ran out of ideas after those two. Who could say?
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 14, Boy Meets Girl. Guys, I ran out of things to say about this series. I don't know. It's not good. It's not funny. The 4 Coma Theater is gone with no sign of returning. It's awful. It's just nothing funny about it. It's utterly pathetic.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 15, Prison Pact Romance Deathmatch. That sucks. Anyways, mildly funny moment here with the mom seeing the super female prisoner or whatever. Thought that was kind of funny, but then it ruins it and it's not funny anymore after that. So the big thing to talk about in this chapter, guys, it's back. The 4-panel theater is back. We won. Here we go. I haven't read it. I want to read it live right here. Start on the, okay, let's start, obviously, right to left. Got life, okay? You want a dog? Yeah, I'll take good care of him. Okay, I'll test you then. Hold on, I'm going to mark my territory. Hey, stop this. Stop. You'll be taking care of another life. I won't let you do something as irresponsible as taking care of a pet, including halfway through. Okay. That's, so it's a dad pretending to be a dog. Alright. Now there's the gal that's kind to nerds. Here's a gal girl who's kind to nerds in the class next door. Let's go talk to her. Was that? We'll see ourselves out. You should be kind to them. If I treat them kindly and they get the wrong idea, that won't be any good for either of them. It really is kind.
Brother, this guy stinks!
You know, Nice Prison, Chapter 16, Sacred Stick, yada yada, whatever. It's Nice Prison, man. Dude, the art in this series is so hideous. Look at that on screen, just that opening page. What are those proportions? Holy shit, man. God damn, this series. I can't stand it, man. Do we have 2 chapters left? Please tell me we have 2 chapters left and that's it. As long as we get another 4 Coma section, by the way, before the series ends. I need some more of that in my life. It's just so peak. It's so good. I love it. This sucked. No surprise there. This was terrible. Awful. Not one glimmer of a smile on my face. Just wincing at the incredibly hideous art style. Man. Not good, guys. Not good.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 17, My Vision of the Strongest Prison. I think we might end next chapter. Maybe 2 more chapters at most. He's fighting his dad. Wow. I don't care. I really don't care. Yeah. I wish there was a 4 Coma theater thing again, but unfortunately there isn't. So, I'm left with nothing to speak about because nothing was funny, as per usual. Nothing was interesting or engaging. Character designs suck. Art sucks. Yeah. It's a Nice Prison chapter. And that's unfortunately what we have to end off on. Hopefully it's over next chapter. I feel like it might be, but maybe it'll go to 19. I don't know. Don't really care.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison, Chapter 18. Not Ultra or Ultimate. Okay, this series is 100% ending next chapter. I can feel it. I'm locking in my prediction. It's happening. We're going to be free. It's going to be the same thing as Kill Blue. Like, it's not going to be an announcement that it's ending. It's going to end next chapter, and that'll be it. Guarantee it. Watch out for leaks earlier in the week, next week. I guarantee there's going to be a post saying that Nice Prison has ended at chapter, 19. Absolutely. There's no doubt. It is next on the chopping block. Guaranteed, and it feels like a perfect layup. Like, this is an action climax, and now we'll have a falling action next week and just wrap up. And I can't wait. I'm so ready to be free of this series forever. It's just, you know what? I should shut up, because next week it's over, so I'll get to talk about the whole thing. And won't that be lovely? The only regret is there's no 4 Coma Theater this time, and this is probably our last chance. So this series will end with 2 4 Coma Theater segments. Both gut busters. Make sure you read them. Funniest comedy you'll ever see.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nice Prison final chapter. My dad was really a ghost. What a finale. It's just... Thank God it's over, guys. Do you see this on screen? If you're like listening to this in the background, tab over for a sec. Just look at what I've been showing. You see this? Do you see it? This was the whole chapter. And then it ends saying, "This is one nice prison now." Wow. Awful. So, I always talk about series at length when they end, reflect on the whole thing. But this series was truly terrible. You guys know this. You could have guessed what I was going to say about this chapter from the moment I first talked about it. This is a god-awful gag manga. Worst I've ever read. Not to say that I've really read bad gag manga, or at least a lot of them. I have read bad ones, but not a lot. But this will probably forever hold the place as the worst gag manga I've read. If I read something worse, I will be impressed. This didn't make me laugh a single time. The art sucked. None of the characters were funny, or interesting, or cool, or anything that I enjoyed reading. This was awful. Never read this. Do not read Nice Prison. It is not worth your time in any capacity. But do, please, I'll begging on my hands and knees. If Ed wasn't on my lap right now, I'd get on my hands and knees and beg, read the 4 Coma Theater segments. They're the best comedy you'll ever read in your life. I mean that from the heart. You will laugh so hard, you'll cry. Take it from me.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Where did you think this was going to go? Nice Prison. F. This is one of the worst manga I've ever read, period. It's terrible. It was so ridiculously bad. And again, I wasn't the biggest shoujo fan, but even though I have this just a tier above it, I still think it is absolutely insulting and repulsive that they put this garbage in its place. Unbelievable. I cannot believe they did that. This was such a misfire. And they should genuinely be ashamed that they let themselves put this in the magazine. This should have never gotten anywhere close to being in the lineup of Weekly Shonen Jump. Oh my god. What a blunder. Holy shit. This was bad, guys. Nice Prison was bad. If you skipped out on it, don't go back and read it. Do not. Don't. It's not worth your time. Oh my god, it was so bad, bro. Holy shit. Unreal. Actually, just unreal. Jesus.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Starting off with the worst character of 2026. These are the characters that affected us in ways that very few can describe the feeling of. Honestly, there's just some pretty scatterbrained nominees as well. It's kind of all over place as far as the reasons for hating them goes. But that's the fun of the award. You can interpret it however you want. And the nominees are Yozora from Nue's Exorcist, Himeno / Himenono from Himaten, Saint Fingerlin Garling from One Piece, Horo Mitsuboshi from Nice Prison, Yuno Grinbarial, I've never said his last name out loud before, Grinbarial? I don't know, you know. you know. And Kipe and Shina Sayonji from Sakamoto Days. And by the way, Yuno's from Black Clover, if you didn't know. Sorry. That one was just like common knowledge to me, so I didn't even figure to say it. But the community award for worst character goes to Horo Mitsuboshi from Nice Prison with 31.9% of the votes. Yeah, I get it. He's a complete disaster. Nothing good about that character at all. He's one of the most unlikable protagonists I have ever seen in my life, so I can completely understand why you would choose him. Welcome back, Ed. Just in time for Nice Prison discussion. Aren't you happy about that? Now it's time for the worst chapter of 2025. These are the chapters that made us perhaps vomit at the sight of them, or recoil in horror at the absolute travesty we just witnessed on paper, or on digital tablet form, I suppose, because we actually don't get most of these things in paper at the same time as Japan does. In fact, never. I don't think there's no simultaneous physical manga releases. That'd be great if there was, but I don't think that will ever happen. Anyways, our nominees for the worst chapter of 2025 are Nice Prison, Chapter 19, My Dad Was Really a Ghost. Nue's Exorcist, Chapter 102, Child Rearing. Sakamoto Days, Chapter 216, Tunnel. Elusive Samurai, Chapter 222, The Trio, 1352. And Ekiden Bros, Chapter 3, He Called Me a Toothpick. Great title. And the community winner for worst chapter, or community loser, I guess, for worst chapter is Nice Prison, Chapter 19, My Dad Was Really a Ghost, with 33.5% of the votes. This is the final chapter of Nice Prison, and yeah, it probably was the worst. That was a completely terrible, batshit insane chapter, and not in a good way. You can describe a lot of gag manga as being batshit insane, and that means a good thing, but in Nice Prison's case, absolutely not. That was, wow. Like, do you guys remember this chapter? You know, where he shoved his whole arm up his own father's asshole. Yeah, that's what the chapter was about. And finally, the last worst award is Worst Series of the Year. Overall, just the worst series that came out this year. Whether it be a flop or just a really bad year for an already existing series, you know how it goes. And I think all of you already know the winner, but let's go through the nominees. The nominees for Worst Series of 2025 are Ekiden Bros, Hakutaku, Gonron Egg, Nice Prison, Nue's Exorcist, and Kill Blue. Guys, the winner for both is Nice Prison. One of the worst manga I've ever read in my life. I'm sorry this award has to be so boring. Nice Prison got 46.9% of the votes, by the way, so damn near half of all votes went to this. Yeah, no contest. Just, you know my opinions on this. If you're new here somehow, and you don't know my opinions on Nice Prison, it's seriously one of the worst manga I've ever read in my life, and a lot of you share that same sentiment. Just completely god-awful, dreadful series. Never read it. Never read it. It just happened to come out this year. Hopefully there's not a series that bad this year, so we can have a tighter competition, I suppose. because this was a total wash. There was nothing else really. This might as well have been a single nominee category, because what else was going to take it? This series was beyond bad. Hakutaku, honestly, that's the close second for me. That series was fucking terrible. But even still, Nice Prison, just next level bad. And that's Nice Prison. Oh man. Having to read just those 9 chapters really took a lot out of me, honestly. This series is really just whack. It's nonsense, it's garbage, it's not funny. Yeah, I did admit to a couple little chuckles, some smiles along the way, but for the most part, it's just complete and utter nonsense. It relies completely on the style of humor that is far outdated and just does not work if you're a sensible person in any capacity. I suppose maybe children would get a little bit more out of this, and yes, this is a magazine intended for kids. I fully admit that, obviously. But obviously it didn't really, because it still got axed at chapter 19. It wasn't quite a U19 series, but it was just on the cusp of being one, which means this was far from successful. And mind you, this series actually was the direct replacement for another gag manga that people actually liked. I never really liked it. It was called Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo. I didn't really like it that much, but it had its fans. It lasted a fair amount of time. I think it was like 30, 40 chapters, and it got axed in favor of Nice Prison, which is truly one of the most baffling things I've ever seen in my life. This series sucks. No surprise there. It is truly, honest to God, just awful all the way through. There's really nothing to like about it. It's a punching bag. You can read it and laugh at it, but you will certainly not laugh with it. But in some sense, I owe a lot to it, because it was like the first kind of running joke that this channel had. I remember the earliest days of having people comment on these videos. A lot of comments were about Nice Prison, people looking forward to the Nice Prison reviews just to hear me shit on it. It became kind of a thing on this channel, to the point where I even named my channel memberships after Nice Prison. So it is near and dear to my heart in a unique way. Not a typical way by any means, but it does have a spot in my heart, because it truly was just the best punching bag you could ask for. Week after week, just being able to shit on this thing brought me immense joy. Not so much here, having to read 9 chapters of it in a row, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that part. It is still just so shocking to me that Jump allowed this to be in the magazine. I know Jump does let stinkers through quite a bit, but this was on another level. Like, I feel like from chapter 1, you get the feeling that this just sucks. There's nothing here for anybody. There's no potential. What editor saw this and was like, hell yeah, we got a winner here? I can't even imagine, dude. They had to be out of their damn mind. Well, that's Nice Prison. I really can't think of much more to say about it. It's one of those series, and I just talked about it enough. I'm good. Thank you, Nice Prison, and thank you all for 1 year of Mangakaige. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on Nice Prison. Let's hear some new thoughts, I guess. If you guys have anything to share about this mess, I'd love to hear about it. And remember, you can become a Nice Prisoner yourself at 3 tiers. You can click the join button to see what tier works best for you. You get things like early access to new videos, exclusive monthly videos, emotes, your name in the credits, and if you join at the highest tier, you will get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Milu Kitty, who, by the way, hey, Milu Kitty, real quick, shout out. She sent me some lovely fan art in celebration of 1 year of Mangakaige. It's so cute. I love it. Thank you so much, Milu Kitty. Send her some love on Blue Sky or in the comments if you see her here. Very supportive member of the community, both here and the podcast, and I'm very appreciative of her. Thank you so much. Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmer64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadus, Noobs Rock, Dan, The World's Worst, and Menacing Pigeon. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.